Hey guys, welcome back. So today's video is a fun one. I recently hit $50,000 in sales on eBay, and I thought it was the perfect opportunity for me to come on and share 5 things that I've learned in the 2 years I've been selling on eBay. A disclaimer, I'm not an eBay pro. I'll never be an eBay pro, I don't think, because the platform is always evolving. There are certain categories I probably will never sell on. There's certain things or tools that are on the platform that I'll probably never try. So I think for me, the biggest takeaway that I've learned is I'm learning every day with eBay, and I probably will always be learning with eBay. With that said, if you have watched this channel and you are currently selling on eBay, maybe that's your only platform, this probably may mean nothing, or maybe you would agree with some of this. Definitely be sure to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I know that there are plenty of people who say, I have been selling on eBay for 20 years, and they have really seen the transition of things with the platform. For me, it's only been a couple years, and I've seen quite a bit of change, and I expect them to continue to make improvements and changes as well. So I'm just a normal person. eBay is a part-time thing for me. It contributes to my full-time reseller business that I've built. And these are just some of the things that I've learned over the last couple years, and I just wanted to share. So if you are new to the channel and you aren't subscribed, or you're not new and you're not subscribed, please hit that subscribe button down below. It would mean a lot to me. And if you like these videos where I kind of share my thoughts on things instead of just showing what I'm purchasing to resell, definitely be sure to hit the thumbs up. It always brings a smile on my face. So, all right, to jump right in, these are 5 things in no particular order, and I'm just gonna try and stick to my notes so that I stay on track and not have too long of a video. But the very first one that I have learned is growth takes time. One of the things that I've seen people leaving comments or messages on Instagram, or just seen people talk or heard people talk about in social media, whether on YouTube or Instagram, is that it can be frustrating to start selling on eBay because you see all these people and they have their package piles and they're showing their numbers, and it's like, wow, they are doing incredible things. Why is that not happening for me? So one main thing that I've learned about starting eBay, specifically after another platform, for me, I was doing quite well on Poshmark. I added eBay. I don't know if this is going to make sense, but basically if I was listing approximately 10 items per day on eBay, that was an early goal of mine. If 5 things were selling on Poshmark each day, and the majority of stuff was cross-listed on both platforms, I was really only adding approximately 5 new items each day, because I was constantly removing stuff on eBay that was selling on Poshmark first. So it took me time to really ramp up my numbers because I was constantly selling things quicker on Poshmark, because that was my first platform. And hard to grow numbers. I have personally looked at it as like, it's a percentage. So the more available inventory I have on eBay, probably the more sales I'll have as well. And it's harder to grow there because you're selling things on another platform, it can be quite frustrating. Currently, and a change that I made this year was I now list on eBay first. I used to list on Poshmark, and then I would copy things and put it on eBay. And that's how I was doing things for quite some time. I transitioned to the opposite way, not because eBay, I wanted it to do better or anything of the sort. It's because eBay listing has a lot more details, and it's a little bit more finicky on listing, which I'll get to in a second on the listing process. But it's easier to kind of do the more complex one and then copy stuff over to the more simplified one, specifically Poshmark in my situation. So I did make that change. Most things are cross-listed within a day or 2 on both platforms, so I don't really think eBay has an advantage, but it takes time. Currently eBay, I have higher sales than I do on Poshmark, but the 50,000 in 2 years slowly grew. So it wasn't all equal across the board in 2 years. And I hope and I expect that it will continue to slowly grow, and as long as I just keep putting in the work. So, all right, I will show you 2 things because I thought this was interesting on my Instagram. When my first month on eBay, I'll pop a picture of some of my numbers. And then I think I have another picture of about 3 months in. And I'll pop that one up here as well. And why I'm showing this to you is it started somewhere. It started with very low numbers. I put a lot of time in to try and get stuff cross-listed. At the time, I was not using any platforms like Vendoo or List Perfectly or anything like that. It just took a lot of time. And Overall, I now have everything cross-listed, and but it did not happen overnight, and it's probably never going to kind of be an overnight platform. So, or at least it wasn't for me. All right, the second one is listing and shipping does not have to be hard on eBay. Now, that is probably two of the things or two of the gripes that I hear the most about people who want to start eBay, because they hear people have success, but they're afraid of it's so complicated to list or it's so complicated to figure out shipping. And while it can be complicated, for sure, eBay has a lot of things you can do with it, and it can feel overwhelming to figure out what is necessary and what isn't. For me, in the beginning, I tried to keep it as simple as possible. So shipping, the easiest thing, and I'll link a couple videos down below if I can find any that are specific to eBay in case you want to watch some more of my thoughts on the platform. But I do have a video around eBay shipping, and I think in that one I shared that in the beginning, when I first started, I knew it wasn't the cheapest way to do it, but it was the only way that I didn't have a scale. I didn't want to figure out first class or anything like that. I just stuck with priority rate shipping, flat rate shipping. Most of the stuff I sell can fit into an envelope. Some of it might be a box. And I just knew the flat rate price within the US. And so even though it may have deterred some buyers because they might not want to pay $7.50 or whatever the padded flat rate envelope price was, they might not want to pay that for a t-shirt. It was still an opportunity for me just to get started on the platform, and you can always change shipping later down the road. Since then, it is eBay labels on the eBay site are discounted and very easy to use. And if you don't want to use that platform, there's also a platform that I occasionally use called Pirate Ship, also has discounted rates. You can kind of see the different options once you put in some information. I will say I do not weigh or measure my items before I list. So that is something in listings that you can put that information in. And while it can be beneficial, especially for international shipping, to determine rates for them, I just still keep it simple. And I figure out the weight and the size when I go to ship items and not before. So shipping can be really easy. And then once you get comfortable on the platform, that's maybe the time, a month or 2 months in, to figure out, okay, what is first class and what is FedEx good for and what is UPS good for? Most of my stuff goes USPS, first class, or priority mail, but I have used UPS and FedEx for larger items when I do some hard goods or electronics and stuff like that. So it can get really complicated in the beginning. Keep it simple, in my opinion. Listing, there are a lot of fields, and the one thing you really want to look for is what is required, what is absolutely, and I'm trying to think, what is it that's highlighted, but it is very clear what is required. There's also some things where you can pay extras for, maybe a bold title, or maybe you want to promote your listing, all of that kind of stuff. There are a lot of options, but what I would stick to is, personally, go find someone that you trust, go look at their listings, and maybe just replicate what they're doing. So how they're writing their title, what they're putting in their description. I am very, very minimal with what I put, and it's a lot of copy and paste type of stuff. But there are people that do much more than me, and it might benefit them, I'm not sure. But I think when you're starting eBay, or even if you're still in eBay and you're just not having the success, just go back to the basics and kind of avoid all the noise of the options there. All right, let's see. Number 3. This one is a big one because when I started on Poshmark, I was constantly hearing people say, trendy clothes don't sell on eBay. The young buyers are on places like Poshmark or Mercari or some of those other platforms. And I don't think that's true. Trendy clothes do sell for me on eBay. An example of this is I had a dress recently that sold for over $100. It was by a brand called Realization, and it had 30 likes on Poshmark. Very trendy style, very desirable dress. In a couple days, it had 30 likes, and it ended up selling on eBay. And they were both cross-listed, they both had interest, and it sold on eBay. There are lots of buyers on eBay. In fact, they have a much larger buying audience. So while the other platforms might cater more to a younger group or more to a specific demographic, there are buyers of all types on all platforms. And eBay, what I found is that because you can do international, you can choose to do something like I do, which is global shipping program, and be able to sell over the world, or you can even try and figure out the international shipping on your own and sell internationally. There are buyers all over the world that can't use some of those other platforms and still want some of the stuff that we have here. So, and they're willing to pay the price for shipping. So there are some designers that do well in other countries for me that don't do well in this country. For example, Dolce & Gabbana. Every time I find a trendy, cool Dolce & Gabbana, it almost always sells internationally for me to a young, trendy buyer. So I think that is a myth. I know some people ask me, what do I list on eBay and what do I list on Poshmark? And I just always say, I list both to both. And the reason is I have sold Casper, I have sold a lot of Eileen Fisher, I've sold Lag and Look brands like Cut Loose, and I'm trying to go off the top of my head, but I've sold more mature brands on Poshmark, and I've sold a lot of trendy stuff on eBay. And I just don't want to distinguish what needs to go where. I just cross-list it all. And I'm not saying that's a requirement, that just kind of works for me, but trendy does sell on eBay. And as a eBay and Poshmark buyer, I typically buy my stuff on eBay when I can, because the shipping tends to be a little bit less per item, because most of the time it's first class and it's not the rates that Poshmark has. So get that trendy stuff listed on eBay. Okay, number 4. This is something I've heard so much of. These last two really kept me from starting eBay before I did. And this first one, or this fourth item, is eBay customer service does not support sellers, is bad, is hard to deal with. It's not true in my experience. Now, I have had some difficult situations where they do side with the buyers, but most of the platforms will side with buyers unless there's like a long history of them doing wrong things. I don't know. I know there's a lot of videos on people sharing their bad experiences on eBay. I did a video on this channel where it was talking about my first INAD, which is item not as described. And I did want to share that experience. But still, in almost 2,000 items that I've sold on this platform, I've only had one of those. I've never been scammed. Although that did feel a little bit like a scam because it was a buyer who was filing this item not as described so they could return it because it didn't fit. It was frustrating, but in almost 2,000 items, it hasn't been that bad for me. So every time I've had to contact customer service, some good things. You can go onto the website, you can request a call. I think when COVID hit, you could no longer call them. You had to request the call because a lot of call centers had to start working from home and making changes. So you go in and you just hit the request a call button and it'll tell you approximately how much time is the wait. Or you can chat with them. I often chat with them. It's easy to just type and get to someone right away. And before COVID, you could directly call. And I have had nothing but good experiences, even when they have some disappointing news to share. So for me, it's been a really positive experience to deal with eBay customer service. And I'm not saying that's for everyone, or that's the case for everyone, but in the last 2 years, in almost 2,000 items sold, it has been an easy experience for me. Definitely easier than Poshmark, where I can't call, I can't talk to someone directly on chat immediately. And so I guess comparing those two, because that's all I can really compare in the reselling space, I definitely prefer the customer service with eBay. But again, both of them are going to side with buyers a lot of the times. And that's just part of reselling. That's just kind of part of business, I think. All right, number 5, the last one is scams are not that common. So I briefly touched on this about that INAD that kind of felt like a scam. Man, I watched so many videos. This is kind of reminiscent of like the bins experience for me. I didn't go to the bins right away because I was watching all of these scary bins videos. Oh my gosh, the horror of look at what I found in this bin and the bad interaction with these people and all of this stuff. And it can scare you from going because you're like, that's gonna be what it's gonna be like for me. That's not the case. I've had almost all great experiences at the bins, and with scams on eBay, I just haven't had them. Now, are there scams? Absolutely. Are there ways that you can learn about some of those potential scams to prevent some of them? Yes. A common one that I've had people ask is, I got an offer from someone and it's the it's the same price as what my price is. Why are they not just purchasing it? Why are they submitting an offer? If there's anything weird with an offer coming through, I usually just ignore it. And at the very end of the day, if you're concerned about something or confused about something, there is an eBay forum. You can kind of Google and just see what other people are saying. Have they had this happen, and see if it might be scam related? Or you could try calling. I'm sure that eBay customer service would at least be able to say, look into something for you. They might not be able to tell you if it is a scam. They might not be able to know, but definitely Google is probably the best tip on that. And I think that the scammers, I have heard that they tend to look for people with low feedback numbers. Like, I have feedback of 600 and something, or, and so it shows that I've used the platform a lot. But I have heard scammers kind of target people with low feedback numbers because they assume you're new and that you might not be aware of the scams. But for the most part, it just doesn't happen for me. I don't get scammed. I have had those weird offers come through. I have had weird messages of, hey, can you call me, or can you email me on this or something? And I just ignore all those people. So yeah, the other thing that I have heard people talk about is they won't sell to someone with zero feedback. So maybe I get an offer from someone and I go to their profile and they have a 0 by their feedback. While that can be frustrating at times because they have no experience clearly based off of feedback on the platform, they might not have ever given feedback or received feedback. And everyone starts on the platform somewhere. And if anything, I would hope that a lot of those people get a really good buying experience instead of maybe someone rejecting them because they're new. So that is sometimes helpful. I do, if I'm confused about an offer and something just doesn't feel right, and I go and I see their 0 feedback, it is a contributing factor I do look at occasionally, but it's really not a thing for me. So the moral of this story is those are my 5 takeaways. A couple other just notes that I'd like to make. It's okay to not like eBay. It's okay to not like any platform. So if I sit here and say that eBay is definitely my favorite platform to sell on, it doesn't mean that Poshmark is bad. It doesn't mean that you have to like eBay. There's lots of people that like Mercari, and I just did not like my experience on that platform. It doesn't make it a bad platform. It doesn't mean you can't sell well there. It just means it wasn't for me, and that's okay. And eBay might not be for you. I do know that because it is complicated, or can be complicated, it can be just too much for people, and that's okay. I think with eBay and really any platform, setting realistic goals and keeping things in perspective is really important. So for me, the biggest thing with eBay is hearing all of the people say you have to list the same number at the same time of day, every single day, no breaks. That's how it felt in the beginning. And I remember hearing that advice going, okay, I can't skip a day. I would stay up until 2 a.m. because I needed to get those listings done. And it was so much stress. I've really de-stressed on eBay. I try to list mostly every day. I try to stay consistent with approximately how many I list per week, but there are off weeks and I don't beat myself up over it. I am going for slow growth. I'm not going for crazy immediate growth. And I think that that's okay and it works for me. So if you haven't tried eBay, I highly recommend trying it. Again, I'll link a couple videos that I've done on eBay. I haven't done too much. And a lot of people have eBay content out there. I will say, like with most content on YouTube, there's a lot of, I wouldn't say bad advice, just advice that I wouldn't agree with, because it does just depend on you and your business and what kind of things you can get and all of that type of stuff. But I do think that watching a variety of people and cherry picking advice that kind of might work for you is the way to do it. And that's it. That's all I know. So if you like this video, I'm really excited to that. I should also note, I meant to say this earlier, when you look at eBay sales numbers like this, I'm over 50,000, that does include shipping price. It's unlike Poshmark, where Poshmark handles all of the shipping and you never actually see that shipping money or that shipping fee. eBay, because the seller deals with the shipping, all of that is calculated in. So I don't know my exact breakdown of when I remove the shipping. Shipping for me, most items is about $4 to $5 because most of my stuff is first class. But yeah, my dog just jumped up and is going outside. So yeah, so it's not, and it also, yeah, I just wanted to disclose that as well. Overall, I hope to do another update video, maybe when I hit 100,000. I think it's an exciting milestone, and I just wanted to share. So I will see you guys all in the next video. I hope you're doing well, and thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up and subscribe. All right, bye guys.